Since leaving the White House, President Obama has remained rather guarded when speaking about the state of our politics, the exception being his handful of appearances on the campaign trail. But recently, the former president has been far more vocal about his feelings toward the current administration. Today on Marc Maron's podcast, he made perhaps his most direct comments yet about the dangers our democracy faces at the hands of Donald Trump, specifically referring to the latest National Guard deployments.
A lot of the norms, civic habits, expectations, institutional guardrails that we had, that we took for granted for our democracy, have been weakened deliberately. When you have military that can direct force against their own people, that is inherently corrupting.
President Obama also called out the quiet capitulation of institutions bending the knee to Trump.
If you're a business, you say, you know what, we think it's important because of what this country is to hire people from different backgrounds, and we're not going to be bullied into saying that we can only, hire people or promote people based on some criteria that's been cooked up by Steve Miller.
Yeah.
We all have this capacity, I think, to take a stand.
And at this moment, we are waiting for New York Attorney General Letitia James to make her first public comments since being indicted by the Trump Justice Department. We will bring you those comments when we get them. Joining us now at the table is Angelo Carusone, President and CEO of Media Matters, and Ankush Khardori, former federal prosecutor and senior writer for Politico magazine, our dynamic duo, as I like to call them.
Right. I don't know where to begin tonight on this one, because I think it's really disappointing in some respects, frustrating in others, that at this hour we have the lone voice of one president who is sitting down and trying to bring clarity. In my view, being very presidential at this moment. So I didn't know really where to begin, because the emotion of the moment for me is I'd love a leader of this country, a former leader of this country, Angelo, to sort of pull us.
Like George W. Bush?
Yes. President Bush, please, man, we could use your voice right now. We really, really could. I mean, I get the partisan stuff. I get the whole political landscape. But you have a voice that would resonate with a lot more Americans than I think maybe some folks around you are telling you, to be honest. But I really think that combination, if you could imagine just a President Bush and a Barack Obama sitting together, having that conversation, what that would say to the country and what it would say to Donald Trump.
Yeah, look, I mean, I would like to think that a West Wing-like moment like that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
I'm
binging West Wing right now, yes, and I get kind of caught up in it. So,
but I don't want to dismiss it either. There's two things that I think that are significant about that. One is that, it's worth remembering that these presidents have this pattern, right, of not criticizing their predecessors, and that President Obama, in particular, is very careful about exercising any public commentary. He likes to keep his powder dry. Really likes to, even when it comes to endorsing, right? I only want to have right at the end. It's very careful. So the fact that he's speaking out now should actually be alarming to anyone that has followed that. That's the first thing, because he is doing something deeply unprecedented, and very much contrary to his orientation, which is to be quiet. So, one, that is a red alarm for every Democrat. People that really like Obama, that support him, you should be out now. That should be your call to do something more than you're currently doing. The second, though, is I think there is something to these former leaders speaking up, these statesmen who have some credibility and some moral authority, not because they're going to immediately fix the problem, but what it does is give a permission structure to others to say stuff to their peers. And that's still lacking right now. And in fact, their absence of communication is worse because it's being perceived as fear, too.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be like President Obama and call for a little bit of courage, a little bit of stiff spine, you have to demonstrate that you have to lead by example. So Bush not doing it, in some ways, it's not to say he has an obligation, although I would imagine he should as a former president, but that permission structure is missing right now. And that leadership is very contagious, and it starts there. And if he's not doing it, there's a whole lot of people that aren't going to do it either.
Because there's critique and there's persuasion. But I also think there's just sort of walking people through, this is the Insurrection Act. This is what you actually use the Insurrection Act for, right? People protesting ICE raids in their town is not grounds for the president to claim absolute authority. Do what you will with that, but someone who actually has that type of platform and profile might actually be able to break through on simply resetting what the norm and the standard is.
I do think it's very impactful for President Obama to tell people things that they think they're crazy for thinking. Otherwise, like, why is everyone capitulating? I think a lot of people, they think it's too complicated, that they don't understand the dynamics. But here you have President Obama saying, no, this is not necessary, it's not appropriate, it's not healthy for our democracy, and not for nothing, he is the most popular living president. And Donald Trump is extremely unpopular at the moment, despite what people at the White House claim. He's well underwater, net negative, I think like around 10 points below net negative on his approval rating. So I would hope that this will at least, I think to Angelo's point, like bring some people in, or at least make people more comfortable with these intuitions that they have, which I think people have had intuitions, average Americans, this whole time, that this is improper, it's unusual, it's risky, it's dangerous for whatever reason. Even going back to, I mean, I would say for sort of an issue that I covered closely, I was very surprised at the backlash to the deals that the large law firms struck with the Trump administration.
You were?
I was. Because these are like white collar law firms. It didn't occur to me that this would resonate as much and as widely with the public as it did.
As it did, yeah.
Because these law firms don't exist to help the average American, or like we can't afford them. But people really saw that as an affront. And I do think that this sort of leadership, public leadership, has been lacking. And it's good to see him sort of try to fill that void.
You know what I often think about, Angelo, is that a lot of folks, given the fact that we are very online right now, right, I think people expect when we say democracy is in danger, or we're sliding into authoritarianism, they just go to what they've seen in the movies and the dramatization of it all. And to me, Obama was noting in this, and I started to listen to the conversation and the long pieces of it on my way here to work today. And he noted that the danger wasn't distant; it's right here, and that it is happening by a quiet coup. It's not something big and dramatic. It's just this quiet capitulation that is really just little compromises, saying, "Oh, well, this is just how it is. So we're just going to go along just for right now."